Hello and welcome to another update video about Gala. Gala is now in a micro resistance area. We're going to take a look at that in this video, but the overall situation remains quite negative for Gala. We obviously, and you can see that clearly here, we can see a 5-wave decline to basically the lows in October. I know there are other charts like unreliable, charts that actually start at the beginning, but it's not so important what happened here in the beginning because it is a pretty clear 5-wave move to the downside. And I've looked at those longer term charts and the move to the upside looks rather like a 3-wave structure. Whatever happens though, the concern is that this here looks more like a 5-wave move down, right? So that's the thing. I did get a question from someone in the last video. So it's 5 down. What can I say? Okay, even then, I mean, if I'm wrong about this assessment that this is a 5-wave move down, even though it looks pretty clearly like one, then the alternative would be, I mean, this could be a WXYXZ pattern, okay, which is a correction, which is a corrective pullback. Well, that would be the more optimistic perspective, but there is, with a 5-wave move down, it's just a given that you have to be more cautious and careful. And even the bearish outlook for Gala long-term allows Gala to participate in a potential bull run. Okay, so it absolutely is included here in my analysis that Gala can, in the yellow count, rally in a more extended ABC structure if it wants to. It's not a prediction. It's just that, the possibility is there for it to rally in this ABC structure to form a larger A wave or wave 2 already. Okay, so all it needs to do is a proper 3-wave move up. I mean, this top, if it forms an ABC, could be all of wave 2. But if we are more bullish, then it can still form a larger ABC structure. Just shows you the possibilities at the moment. The idea is here A wave, B wave, C wave in A, then a B wave pullback, and the C wave up. Okay, that is a possibility. And to be honest, I mentioned it before, it doesn't matter to me if I'm labeling that as an ABC or if it, again, in the bullish case, it would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does it make a difference in the short term? No, absolutely not. Because I've given you a support region, and as long as that's holding, the short-term focus is, of course, on higher. But this is one of the charts that I see with... yeah, I mean, it's just worth to be cautious, okay? It's just worth to be cautious. Obviously, if we can identify along the way a 5-wave move, 1 second, just need to delete these. So if we can identify along the way a proper 5-wave move up that might even go above resistance, fair enough, I can change the overall assumption on this chart, but it would not have any practical implications, or it wouldn't make any difference right now because I'm tracking an uptrend anyway. So hopefully that is... clear, yeah. So looking then at the shorter time frame, we can see here that the market rallied in what would be an A wave in this wave count. A wave topped in December, and we can debate if the A wave finished here or here. There is not the answer because A waves can be 5-wave moves or 3-wave moves. We then had this corrective pullback into our target zone between 2.15 cents and 1.78. From here, the market can attempt a reversal. It's not a given yet, okay? And I mentioned to you in the last video here, this resistance area, it's just structural resistance, which goes all the way up to 2.5 cents. But really, to get clarity that Gala has formed a low here in this trend reversal in this target area, or let's call it rather a support area, I need to see 5 waves. Okay, so bear in mind, the next move up should be a C wave. That C wave should be ideally, well, it has to be a 5-wave move if it's a C wave. How would that look like? The problem is, and the difficulty with a C wave, in contrast to, for example, a 3rd wave, which it would be in a bullish scenario, the problem is a C wave can be an ending diagonal, ultimately, which makes it much more difficult to label and track, because in diagonals we have to deal, or we are dealing with corrective subwave structures, which means again that tracking a 5-wave pattern to the upside, for example here in wave 1, is not necessarily a requirement. Normally we would say as soon as we see the first 5-wave move above resistance, you know, we could confirm the low is in. The problem is in this structure, the wave 1 could just be a large ABC structure because it could be an ending diagonal. Another piece of evidence that we're not dealing with a third wave here, but instead a C wave. This at the moment at least is a 3-wave move, clearly. Now, I will still try to look for, or I will still look for 5-wave patterns, because they might, of course, still turn up, and maybe it is an impulse that's developing. But what we would need to see is something like this. Wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, 5 in wave 1. That's not everything. Everybody can put some numbers on the screen, right? It's we need the parameters, okay? So we need the parameters. 1, 2. Let me see. I just need to grab the low point there. Because the key is to understand, okay, what do we need to see now to... Oh, where are we? I don't know, where are the fibs? Let me just do that again. Oh, there it is. Okay. We need to see, obviously, what you know, how can we identify a 5-wave pattern? Well, the third wave needs to, okay, the third wave needs to minimally reach here the 1.236 extension. Better would be the 1.38. And let me add the 1.38 to the chart. At least it gives us some parameters there to watch. Yeah, so wave 3 should reach minimally 2.5 cents. It is. It's the 1.236 extension. Better would be 2.575 cents. Then we should still get a wave 4. And wave 5 needs to reach 2.7 cents. And then we have a potential 5-wave move. We call that a wave 1. Then we can look for a wave 2. And then, yeah, it would unfold like that. But probably this will not be all of wave C. Either way, you know, we'll see how that develops. We'll see how that develops. We haven't got enough data for all of these subwaves anyway. But I just wanted to put on the chart what are the key markers, the key levels we now need to be watching for. If it pushes higher once more and reaches 2.52 cents or 2.575, well, then at least I could say, okay, we've got a third wave there. And I will then add a support area for the wave 4. And then, you know, if we get 5 waves, then I call that a wave 1. And we add another support zone for wave 2. You know the routine, you know, and that would be the next basically trade setup there. Yeah, that's my update at the moment about Gala. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.